Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, welcome back to our ongoing Guruvashtakam, also commonly known as the Mangalarti, the seminar, and this is the sixth session, sixth part. And this morning we completed one verse, which was Chaturvidasi Bhagavad Prasado Swadanna Triptan Hari Bhakti Sangam Kritaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadeva Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. So the Acharya, just to recap very quickly, is teaching us with his own example how to worship the deities and what kind of bhoga is offered. Chaturvida, the kind of bhoga that is licked, chewed, drunk and sucked. These are the different categories that must be offered. And that is our standard in ISKCON in the deity kitchen, that the such items have to be made. Like chutneys are licked, puri, roti is chewed, drunk is like fruit, juices or any sharbat, that kind of and sucked, things that can be relished by just sucking. So items like that are offered, like the mango and the mango seed. It is sucked just as an example, right? And then what is conducive to Krishna is what we need to offer. Most of us, we are in the offering Krishna in the mode of karma yoga. Why? Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Yagya Sistina Santo Muchante Sarvakil Vishaye Te Tam Agam Papam Jena Pachanti Atma Karanat. So Krishna says very clearly, Vasudeva Krishna is saying this, not Nandanandan Krishna of Vrindavan. He is saying that if you do not offer me bhoga, then you are certainly atetam agam papam. You are certainly eating immense sin, ghor papam. So, out of our principles of karma yoga, yad karoshi yad asnasi, we offer to Krishna. But the idea behind that offering is that otherwise we will be eating sin. So that is why we are offering. That is the main principle we are offering. So we offer whatever we like, we offer to Krishna. But we don't generally take that understanding or inclination to understand what Krishna likes. And when we take to that kind of consciousness, then that is Raganuga Bhakti. You are asking me yesterday, right? How will that happen? So it will manifest. It will manifest slowly and surely if we follow Vaidhi Bhakti very nicely and we follow all the different programs that Srila Prabhupada has given us, then we are sure to succeed. It is not possible that we will fail. The Prabhupada won't let us fail. He won't let us fail if we make a genuine, excuse me, Hare Krishna, genuine, we have the desire and we make that genuine attempt. And of course, Krishna has guaranteed in Bhagavad Gita, Yogakshemam Mahamiyam. If you are lacking something, I will certainly take care of that. But for that lacking, that doesn't mean that it is not our genuine attempt. Out of laziness or disinterest, if we lack, then Krishna won't help us. But if we are genuine, then even if we lack something, even if we have some certain frailties or mistakes, then Krishna definitely helps us. So that is karma yoga. We offer what we like, but because we are scared that we will incur pap if we eat without offering to Krishna, so then we offer what we like, right? Pizza, pasta, cake, all these things. But that does not necessarily mean that Krishna likes that. So who knows what Krishna loves? It's especially Mother Yashoda, the Vraj gopis, and especially the gopis in the bhava of Madhurya Rasa. The Manjaris, they know what Krishna loves best. And as Kamla Manjari, Bhaktivinoda Thakurji has personally observed, as we can, those who know the Bhoga Arti. Bhajat Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari, Sri Gaura Hari, Soi Gosta Vihari. In that, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given so many items in Krishna's plate that Mother Yashoda has cooked, and also Radharani. Both are in the kitchen. Very important fact, and I will touch upon it in the next verse about Radharani's cooking and some pastimes in regards to that will help in understanding the Madhurya Rasa even better. So, he says, Sukta Sagadi Vaji Nalita Kusumanda Dali Dalda Dugda Tumbi Dadi Mocha Khanda Mugda Vora Masa Vora Roti Ka Grita Yanna Shaskuli Pista Khira Karpura Amrita Keli Ramba Khira Sara Amruta Rasala Dwadasha Prakar. Like this, so many items, 12 types of chutneys. Dwadas Prakar means 12 different kinds. There is sour chutney, there is very spicy chutney, then there is sweet and sour chutney. So like that, 12 different kinds of drinks and chutneys are offered to Krishna. And all those items like the Sukta Sakadi Bhaji, Dugdi squash, and different squash cakes, even the Dudhi halwa, that is very dear, is a sweet item. So all these items are mentioned. Mugda Vora Masa, Roti Gritanna, different types of grains, different rotis are served. Saskuli Pista, Payasanna. So the payas or kheer is offered. And Karpur Amrit Keli. I was mentioning that Karpur Amrit Keli is the exclusive, the best that is made in Braj is made by Srimati Radharani. So Mother Yashoda also knows how to make. But she tells Radharani, you please make for my Krishna, because my Krishna loves your Karpur Amrit Keli. So Karpur means it is camphor. And Amrit Keli is a wonderful type of a Hare Krishna, that's okay, Prabhu. Danvats. It's a type of dravya, like in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is that verse? Nigama kalpa taro galitam phalam Srimad Mukhat drava amrutam samvitam. So drava means what? It is something that semi-solid. That even the most advanced devotees, Rasik devotees, Rasika Bhuvika Bhavuka, even they love this Srimad Bhagavatam that is considered like a semi-solid. Like, we have amras, some nice amras. You don't drink it. No, you eat it. But what do? You relish it like it's a semi-solid in one sense. So our Karpur Amrut Keli is banana mixed in condensed milk with camphor that Radharani makes to the best of perfection. So these are the same thing. Ramba Kheer Sar, different types of kheer. Amrut Rasal, different types of nectar, drinks are offered. Amla Dwadasha Prakar, and the different types of sour items like chutneys, 12 different types. Luchi Chini Sarpuri, Laddu Rasavali, different types of laddu, and Luchi Chini is some kind of a halwa. And that is puri. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Luchi is puri. So Luchi Chini means the sweet puri. They have not only regular puri, but sweet puri. Like, you have ever had sweet samosa? Samosa also, they make sweet samosa. In Vraj they have that, and even in Bengal they have it. Radha Rasbihari they have it, sweet samosa. So that means Luchi Chini. Thank you for, So Luchi Chini is the sweet puris. So like that, all these sarpuri, ladu, rasavali, bhojana kore, Krishna kautuhali. Very important word. Kautuhali means with great pleasure, with great joy. But whatever we are offering, not necessary, he takes it out of duty, but not out of joy. And I gave that example, I don't know, was it in the morning session or in the afternoon session, that supposing if somebody calls us for lunch or dinner, so the host is calling us, and what has the host made? So many items of baigan, which the guest doesn't even like. So baigan bharta, baigan pakoda, baigan in the dal, baigan here, baigan there, and the poor person has to eat it because they have made it. So, and then in between, the host will ask, do you like it? Yeah, then the person will say, yes, it's nice. So then please have more. So more of baigan. So that is the case with Krishna when we are offering all those items that are not really his favorite in one sense. Just because we are putting tulsi on it, he's obligated to take. Just like a host is calling us, he has called us out of love or affection, so we are obligated to take that prasad even though it is not going down our throat. Happens no sometimes, right? Sometimes they serve us some things that is not palatable to us because we have never either tried it or we don't like it. So therefore, the difference between Vaidhi Bhakti and the difference, Vaidhi Bhakti encompasses some Gyan, Karma Yoga, all that is there. But Bhakti Yoga, even in Vaidhi Bhakti, there is Bhakti Yoga, but the highest Bhakti Yoga is that of the Vrajavadhu Vargena Taya Kalpita, following in the footsteps of the Vrajvasis, especially the gopis of Vrindavan, following their footsteps in Madhuri Ras, so they know. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is present there. In that bhajan later on, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that after Krishna has taken his prasad, then Shiki Vicha Chamarudulai Vishalaksha. So Vishalaksha is one of the sakhas of Krishna. Vishalaksha literally means big eyes. So he has got big eyes. So his seva is to offer chamar to Krishna when he is resting. Vishalaksha Shiki Vicha Chamarudulai. Like this, different sevas are there, and then Yashodama sends Dhanishta to bring the extra remnants that are left in Krishna's plate from the Bhoga Mandir or the dining hall. Whatever remnants are left, Krishna deliberately leaves some remnants. Although he loves everything, sometimes we can finish everything, but Krishna leaves those remnants because not only for the Vaidhi Bhaktas in Karma Yoga, so that he leaves actually all remnants for us. He simply glances at our bhog. But when it comes to Vraj, and when it comes to the pure devotees, he practically eats everything, but he still leaves some remnants because he knows my Radharani loves it. So then the Dhanishta is sent to bring the remnants, and then with Yashomati Agyape, Radharani taking the permission of Ma Yashoda, she takes Bhunje Hoita Prito, with great relish, she takes the remnants of Krishna. And then after Radharani is taken, all the other Sakhis are given the Maha of Radharani. Even she leaves some remnants in her plate. All the others, so that's how the bhajan ends. That how the other gopis take the Maha of Srimati Radharani. That is the bhav of what we should serve. That when we find that even in that bhajan, which is Ekadashi today, what is that bhajan that we sing? Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajane Anukul. In that, Mahaprabhu's pleasure is sak. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says what? Gauravita Sakha Sevane Jivana Sarthak Mani. When I serve the special bhaji, like spinach, or also something similar in the same family of, what do you call, in Punjab, what did they use? Sarso ka saag. Saag, the same word is used, yeah? So that saag is very... No. I'm saying family means the green leafy vegetables. You're right. Mustard we don't take. Sarso ka saag means they put sarso oil in saag. But what I meant is sarso ka saag means in saag they put mustard oil. So I was trying to say it's the same leafy vegetable family.
Sarson also has a leaf.
Sarson ka saag is the mustard leaf.
Yeah.
Mustard leaf.
Oh, I see. Okay, because I know there is a leafy vegetable they prepare also. Bengalis also prepare that in mustard oil. Okay, so but the essence is that Mahaprabhu loves that saag. So if I can make that saag and offer it to him, and Mahaprabhu relishes it so much, I will consider my life successful. Jivan sarthak mani. So our life is successful when we prepare bhoga, and we have to learn from the Vaishnavas, our Varishta Vaishnavas, great Acharyas, what Krishna likes. So if we study the Vaishnava bhajans, we study more and more deeper, and we enter Raganuga Bhakti, we will know what he likes, what is his favorite, and then we can put that into practice. That is Raganuga Bhakti. Even in this body, we can put that into practice. And then when Krishna accepts it, we offer it with love, then Jivan Sarthak Mani. Then we will consider ourselves our life is successful. So, and Prabhupada's whole movement was based on first Prasadam, Hari Prasad, then Hari Nam and Hari Katha. Three things that has changed the lives of so many of us. Somebody new comes to a temple, first thing they get is Prasad. They don't get, nobody tells them to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra right away. No, it's not the proper way to preach.
We call it kitchen religion.
Kitchen religion, very nice. Kitchen religion, because everybody loves something palatable, very nice. So even in the West, sometimes, even Radha Swami Maharaj, when some of his Western guests come, who are not familiar too much with the philosophy, but they are fed sumptuous prasadam. And they are given the opportunity to do as they please on these premises. Not to force them that you must attend Bhagavatam class, or you must chant 16 rounds, or even one round. That is the proper way of preaching, that you don't become fanatics. Because if we become fanatics, what will happen? This is an instruction for all of us, those who are interested in preaching. Jai Bhaje Krishna Sei Bodo Chatur. One has to be very, very clever on how you give Krishna consciousness. Because if we become fanatics, people will become averse, they will run away, and sometimes they will even blaspheme. I remember one time in Chicago, at the subway station, at the metro station, there was one black American who was preaching from the Bible. He was a Christian. So he had his microphone and his speaker, and on the station, he was preaching, quoting some verses from the Bible, and then in between every two verses or one verse he used to say, if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you will go to hell. He would say that. अगर आप Jesus Christ में नहीं मानोगे तो आप नरक में जाओगे. So some of the people would stop and laugh at him, and some of the other black young youth, they would simply laugh and mock at him. You also go to hell, and your Jesus Christ also go there. So who is the reason behind it? That is why Naam Aparad number 9, we have to be very intelligent. How we preach. Sometimes I find book distributors, they are very, very forceful, and they are very fanatic. And they just simply go behind the person. And sometimes we find that we get report from outside who are non-ISKCON devotees that ISKCON is very pushy. Every time we go, they want us to buy books, they want us to make a donation, they force us to do this, to do that. So we don't like ISKCON, we go to that temple. Nobody forces us. That means whichever other temple. So our faith or our dharma is prem of Mahaprabhu. Prema dhama eva naumi gaura sundaram. That is, so our bhav should be like that. The bhav of Srimati Radharani, full of compassion and accept everyone, and we have to be their good friends. I give this example, many a times I've done that. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was in Delhi, and Punjabi Bagh had invited me, and there was one congregation director. He said, I have several Bhakti Vrakshas that I am overseeing. So Prabhu, can you take some classes there? So it was December month of marathon. So he said, Prabhu, can you inspire them by speaking something on book distribution? Make that the theme of your class. So I said, okay, Prabhu. But I took him to the side and said, must I tell the real truth, or should I sugarcoat it with something that is palatable? So he didn't say anything. So that was an indication from Krishna that I should speak as it is. And that's what I always do when I sit on the Vyasasana or otherwise also. That is our fiduciary duty. Not that the whole audience will like it. No. Sometimes Prabhupada also administered a very bitter medicine for the ultimate good. Right? If Prabhupada did not give us those 4 regulative principles, which most of the faiths, even in Sanatana Dharma, don't stress. Right? It's okay to drink tea. Some people eat onion garlic, they even allow that. Their sadhus are quiet. They may not be eating, but they allow it. Knowingly they allow it. But here Prabhupada said this, when he came to New York, and he's Bengali, as you know, his body is Bengali, and he knew that the Ramakrishna mission was already there in New York. Because in 1899, Vivekananda ji came to Chicago for the first Parliament of World Religions. So thereafter, Ramakrishna mission was the first ones to establish overseas out of India their missions or temples or mathas, rather, not a temple but math. And there when Prabhupada knew that so Prabhupada was all lonely, he had no idea about New York or America, so he thought he'll just go there and just, meet these Bengali persons there. So when he went there, the sannyasis of the math in New York told Prabhupada ji, Swamiji, you are a Vaishnava, because they can immediately tell Vaishnava, Tilak, Kantimala. They don't wear all that. They don't wear Kantimala. Their foreheads are blank, although they wear saffron. Just like a lot of the Mayavadis, they don't wear any tilak. So, Mahaprabhu said, if you don't wear tilak, your forehead is like a smashan, like a crematorium. So, we should always wear tilak, especially. And the benefits are there. We find in the chapter of Ajamil and the Vishnudutas coming. So, when Vishnudut went back to Yamraj, because the Yamduts went back to Yamraj, and the Vishnuduts stopped them from taking Ajamil, although he had taken the name of his son Narayan. His consciousness was not Narayan of Vaikuntha, but Narayan his son. But even then, knowingly or unknowingly, he took the name of the Lord. That was sufficient enough to stop him from going to hell. The Yamdutas were stopped. He said, you are stopping us from doing our duty. He tells the Vaikuntha Dutas, don't do that. So our master is Yamraj, and he has sent us and to catch anybody who is very sinful. And we have a long list. Chitragupta has given us a long list of all the sins that Ajamil has done. So it is our right to take him. And no gentlemanly person will stop somebody from doing their duty. They use such language in that chapter. And you seem to be like demigods coming from the upper planetary systems. So how can you do that? So then the Vishnudutta said that no, proper understanding you will get from your master Yamraj. Go there, talk to him, and then see what he tells you. So Yamraj is a Mahajan. He knows Dharmasya Tattva Nihitam Guhyam Mahajana Jina Katha Sapanta. So all the Mahajans, the 12 Mahajans are there. They know the secrets of religion, right? Therefore, we must follow in their footsteps. Not whimsically anybody who wears the dress of a sadhu and who has studied some scripture, even got scholarship in scripture, that doesn't mean anything. They are not following the Mahajans. They are not taking to any parampara or any bona fide parampara. Then there is no realization that they have. Whatever they have is they can offer is speculation to the people who follow them or try to follow them. And they cheat themselves and they also cheating others. Prabhupada said cheaters and the cheated in Kali Yuga. Rampant. That happens. So when he went back, Ajamil, in the Ajamil's Leela, the Yamdutas go back and he said, yes, you cannot bring to me or to the hellish places anybody who has knowingly or unknowingly taken the holy name at the time of death. You cannot bring anybody who wears a kantimala. Even though he might be the worst sinner, but don't bring him to me. And you cannot bring anybody who has a Vaishnav tilak on the forehead. So like this, So we should be very much, wearing Kanthimala at least, and especially if possible wear Vaishnava Tilak wherever we go. But of course, again, we have to be very intelligent, because some places if we go, especially in the West, then they will blaspheme, like the person, they say, oh, you Hindu, get out of here, go back to your country. They pass such remarks. And they then start blaspheming by saying, oh, you Hindus have so many gods, but we Christians have only one God. Muslims, they say that, La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah means there's only one God. So how come you have so many gods? So then we have to be very careful. It's for those who are very highly realized and very powerful, you can wear it 24/7. And when everybody comes across, you can preach to them. And you can even apasiddhanta dvanta harine. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's pranam mantra. Whenever there is any apasiddhanta, he would cut it to pieces. So we are not of that stage yet. Only pure devotees are able to do that. So then we may unknowingly lead to other people blaspheming. So best we should keep it guhya. At least we have our Kanthimala and we have a Harinam in our mouths constantly going on. No need to advertising.
Water tilak.
Or water tilak. Yes, Mataji. Very nice. Water tilak. It's the consciousness that is important. That is why Prabhupada called it Krishna consciousness. So, magic, Prabhupada's magic, Krishna Prasadam, Krishna Nam and Krishna Katha. Now we move on to the next verse, which is Shri Radhika Madhavya Rapara Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Namnam Pratishanasva Dhanalolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charanavinda. What an amazing verse. The next two verses, actually all verses are amazing, but this especially gets condensed. Like I gave the example of milk, kheer, and then further rabdi, further ghada, and then khoya, mawa. So these two verses are like that are in this. So now in this also verses, just like in the previous verses, there is kind of external sadhana and internal sadhana. External sadhana is, preaching through personal example. So when an Acharya is chanting, also sitting down in one place and chanting minimum 16 good rounds, he's setting an example to the rest of his disciples and the rest of the Vaishnavas that look, even though they are very highly advanced, they are constantly chanting the holy name. One time in Juhu temple, Srila Prabhupada in the 5th floor, if you all have visited there, Srila Prabhupada's quarters are there in the old guest house. And in the evening, Prabhupada used to give darshan to everyone, whoever wanted, like students, business people, people from all walks of life, they used to come, and devotees also, and they would all sit and Prabhupada would give darshan in the evening. So one time one businessman was sitting in the front and Prabhupada was seated on his gadda, on his asan, and I think one of the Maharajis who was in charge of the project, I don't remember his name. Was it Giriraj Swami at that time? Well, there was also Surabhi Swami, there was more than one. But somebody walked in, one of the entrusted persons who were looking after the administration and construction of the temple. So at that time they walked up, it was kind of urgent. So they kind of interrupted Prabhupada's darshan for a minute or two. And Prabhupada, because they had to make a decision then and there. So Prabhupada guided them, no, you do this, you do this, you do this. It was matters related to finances, money. So, how he basically, that sannyasi could not take a decision, so he had to come to Prabhupada. So he said, Prabhupada immediately guided him, do this. So then this person sitting in front, he had some doubts. He could see in his face that what kind of sadhu is this talking about money and all that. That doubt came in his mind. So when everybody almost left, Prabhupada said, you sit down. So Prabhupada would feel his doubt, his sanshaya. So he said, come here. And he took his kurta, put your ears on the back, and that person remembers constant Harinam was going on. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Even though not coming out from Prabhupada's lips at that time, his whole body is chanting Mahamantra. That is pure devotee. So, these are These are the symptoms of the pure acharyas which we find in this entire 8 verses, the qualities, the transcendental qualities. So to set an example, what does the acharya do? First of all, we'll try to understand most of the word-to-word meanings. Because of the constraint of time, I have to kind of, compress it a little bit. So Sri Radhika Madhavya Apara. What does Radhika mean? Anybody would like to try? Again, it's not a test. We'll make it a little interactive. Just in case, because this session is early, somebody may be feeling sleepy.
Like Radha Rani as a small kid, addressed as a small kid.
It could be. I'm not aware of that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. But the meaning of the word Radhika means Raga Adhika Iti Radhika. Deep attachment for Krishna. There's more than one meaning, by the way, but I'm giving one of the Rasik meanings. Raga Adhika. What is the sign of Raga? Sign of Raga is anyone who wears, especially the sign of Raga is the Gunja Mala. Gunja Madhura Mala Madhura. Right? In that song, Adhara Madhura. So Gunja is a representation of Srimati Radharani. So whenever we offer Gunja Mala, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, when Raghunath Das Goswami was instructed to go to Vrindavan, so Mahaprabhu gave him one small Govardhan Shila with his thumbprint. And he gave him one Gunja Mala. So Govardhan, who is Krishna, is along with Srimati Radharani performing their pastimes. Madhurya Rasa in Govardhan. So that Gunjamala is there, and Pushtimarg devotees, they always use Gunjamala on Srinathji. Always. Srinathji always has Gunjamala. Other malas may be there, not there. Even in Mangala Arati, there is no flower garland or anything. But Gunjamala and Pavitra. Pavitra is another made of some cotton material, which is, Pavitra means auspicious, but Pavitra means it reminds Krishna of the Raganuga Bhakti of the gopis. So that is Pavitra. And specifically Gunjamala is Srimati Radhika. So that is, the redness is there in Gunjamala, especially with the red Gunja beads, is the representation of Srimati Radharani. So he's most pleased. So sometimes someone can say that in Srinathji, that was originally worshipped by Madhendra Puri, who is Gaudiya. Then how come there is no Radharani? For us, I explained the meaning of Sankirtan. Was it yesterday? Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada said, one normal meaning of Sankirtan is congregational chanting. But the other Rasik meaning is Samyak Kirtan iti Kirtan. Samyak Kirtan means also congregational, complete or full, along with other devotees. But full or Samyak complete is Radha and Krishna. And their associates, especially in the Madhurya Rasa. Manjari's gopis, Radharani and Krishna. That is Samyak Kirtan. So that is why in the next verse, I will touch upon the Hare Krishna Mahamantra also, how it is Samyak Kirtan. Okay? So that is the, actually in this verse itself, Guna Rupa Nam is coming. So Nam is coming in this Rup, in this verse. So Radhika means, Radhe, the word Radhe means Aradhyeti, one who knows how to worship Krishna the best. So the word Radha means that. Okay? And when we address Radharani, it is Radhe. But when we just speak about her in that tense, like when you say, Radha went to Barsana. So that's how we say. But when we are calling or addressing it, or then we say, hey Radhe. Just like Srinivas Acharya in the Acharya Goswami Ashtakam, he says, hey Radhe, Vraja ki cha lalite, not lalita. Lalite. So directly addressing them. Where are you? Hey Nanda Suno Kuto. Where are you? Sri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale Kalindi Tate Kuto. Where are you? Are you at the banks of the Jamuna? Are you in Govardhan? I am looking for you. In separation, they were crying like this, the 6 Goswamis, calling on. And that is why the Mahamantra, we don't say Hara, we say Hare. Sambodhit, we address, Sambodhan. So that means directly we are addressing the Srimati Radharani, but I will also explain a little bit more about the word Hara in this verse as we progress. So Sri Radhika Madhavyor Apara. One more meaning of Radha is Raga Dhayati Iti Radha. So it is explained that when Krishna's creation happened, on the left side, Srimati Radharani as Haladini Shakti appeared in Golok Vrindavan. At that time on the right, Lord Baldev. And Lord Baldev is responsible for the entire creation, including all the Mathura, Dwarka, Vaikuntha planets, and the expansions of the expansions that are there, that are also instrumental in the creation of the material world. So Lord Baldev is the Sandhini Shakti, Krishna is Samvit Shakti, and Radharani is Haladini Shakti. Haladini means one who gives joy. So as soon as she appeared, the Shastras explain that she immediately ran towards Krishna. So Ragani Dhayati Iti Radhe or Radha. With great deep attachment, she ran towards Krishna. So that is the one of the meanings. And always she is running towards Krishna. She is just excited every time to run towards Krishna. Therefore, one of the names of Radha is Raga Dhayati Iti Radha. So we touched upon of the other day I think in the first session where we gave the introduction about our acharyas and what our goal is, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us is Krishna Prem. But what kind of Krishna Prem? I mentioned that. Were you there in that class? There are many types of Krishna Prem. Most of us, when we are asked that what is your highest goal, to achieve Krishna Prem. But beyond that, we don't know anything. Krishna Prem is of so many types. So there are some delineations that I can speak on right now. So for example, there is one stage of Prema which is called Sneha. Sneha is the type of Prema that the Varishta Gopis and Gopas and Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj bestows in Vatsalya Ras. It's predominant. Have love for Krishna, that kind of prem also, right? And then then you enter into Madhurya Rasa. So in Madhurya Rasa there are many types of prems. So there is one prem known as Mana. I had explained that the other day when Radharani is upset and she is into the sulky mood. She doesn't want to see Krishna. I don't want to see him. He is supposed to come meet me 2.5 hours before, and now it is almost early morning and he has not come here. So she is upset and she says, I don't want to see him. Tells Lalita and Vishaka, if he comes, tell him not to come. Tell him to go back from where he came from. I don't know if you are there, in some of you. There is one pad by Paramanandas. So those who attended morning session, there is one in Khandita pad. It is called Khandita. Khandita means to break somebody's heart. Khandit. So here Krishna, when he doesn't show up on time, when he's going to the Vipaksha gopis like Chandravali, Shaibya or Padma, he breaks the heart of Srimati Radharani and her Sakhis and Manjaris. Because Srimati Radharani is burning in the fire of separation. And he's not here yet. That's one meaning of Khandita. Second part of Khandita is we find in the bhajan of Paramanandas. He says, Kaun ke bhuraye bhor, this is Vraj Bhasha again. Kaun ke bhuraye bhor, aaye ho bhavan mere, ऊंची दृष्टि क्यों ना करो, कौन ते लजाने हो, आए हो भवन मेरे, जाई को भवन आयो, ताई को सिधारो काना, ऊंची दृष्टि क्यों ना करो, कौन ते लजाने हो, मीठी मीठी बतियन ना करो गिरिधारी, ऊंची दृष्टि क्यों ना करो, कौन ते लजाने हो. So this is in Vraj Bhasha. And Vraj Bhasha is what they speak. When Nanda Baba or Yashoda Mai and all the Vrajvasis, that's what they spoke. They didn't speak in Sanskrit. Sometimes they spoke in Sanskrit. Like the gopis and all, they sang their song. It is mentioned, but we don't know if they had sung it in Vraj Bhasha and then it was translated by Vyasdev into Sanskrit. But Vraj Bhasha is the prominent mode of communication, and it is very sweet. In Brajbhasha, there is a lot of chastisement also. And here, Krishna, after coming very late, in the Ratri Leela, I mentioned that, was it this yesterday evening?
Yeah.
The different times of the day. So he's supposed to be there at 12 for the Abhisar or the union with Srimati Radharani and assisted by the other Gopis and Manjaris. But he's late. He comes at almost 2:30, 2.5 hours late. So then at that time, Paramanand Das Ji, who is present as a Sakhi also, as one of the Swapaksha Gopis of Srimati Radharani, he actually sees that scenario. And at that time, it is said that either it is Srimati Radharani speaking, Vishakha speaking, or Lalita speaking. Because Radharani has specifically instructed them, don't let him inside my Nikunja. Don't let him inside. So that means they are guarding. And if Krishna comes, he is not allowed entry. So when he is coming running, he is very late. Finally, he escapes from Chandravali. And he is simply running with a sweat. And he is so exhausted. And he's saying, sorry, Lalite, sorry, Vishakhe. I'm so sorry, I'm late. I didn't realize the time. That Chandravali kept me longer and I didn't realize. So that even made Vishakha even more upset. Vishakha and Radharani are born on the same day, exact time. So even her bhav is exactly like Srimati Radharani. Whatever pain she feels, whatever joy she feels, just like the Manjaris, Vishakha Sakhi also feels like that. Vishakha Devi is one of the exceptions among the Ashta Sakhis. So when he comes, just like the word in the 5th verse of Damodarashtakam, Muhuschumbitam Bimba Gopya Muhuschumbitam Bimba Rakta Dharamme. So here Gopya means Srimati Mata Yashoda, and also Gopya means Srimati Radharani. So there is Madhurya Ras starting from verse number 5 of Damodarashtakam. So if those who are interested, I just gave a seminar in Kartik in our Krishna Balaram Mandir, 3 days on Damodarashtakam. You can search in ISKCON Vrindavan, just put my name in it and put Damodarashtakam. You will find a 3-day seminar. And I have also on my website, if you want, you can make a note, pureseva.ca. PURESEVA, Pure Seva, all one word, .ca, not .com. CA is for Canada. That will lead you to bhagavad.ca. That is the original domain. Because in Bhagavad there are too many A's, so devotees were making mistakes. If they even miss one A in the spelling of a domain, then they will, Hare Krishna, they will not go into the website. So I found this subdomain Pure Seva. It was easy. Nobody can make a mistake. All one, and Seva is spelled with a V, not W. .ca. It will lead you to bhagavad.ca, and in there you will see till 2023 all my lectures are uploaded. Last 2 years they are not. But if you click on any of the videos, it will lead you to my YouTube channel, which is called Krishna Kripa. And there all the lectures are there, and there is Damodarashtakam. Some of my lectures in Damodarashtakam lasted 2 months, 2 hours each on each verse. So once a week I used to do those sessions. So like that it lasted for 2 months or more. So anyways, the point is that we are all fortunate, and I want that everybody in ISKCON should get that fortune. Whatever little bliss I'm getting out of studying the scriptures in a deeper way, not the deepest, but a little bit in deeper, a little bit glimpse. I want everybody, so that our standard of thinking, our consciousness will increase. We need to go there. We have not gone there. And I gave the example of a little child. You ask them, my dear child, what would you like to become when you grow up? I want to be a doctor. So already the mindset is doctor, the consciousness is doctor, right? So as they grow up, they have that consciousness, doctor. So then they study very hard. Parents tell them, you want to become a doctor, right? You said that all your childhood you have been saying that. Then you have to sacrifice your playtime and study very hard. Get the highest marks in the 10th, get the highest marks in the 12th. Get into medical college, not so easy, 99% and above you need. So they all encourage the child, and finally the child becomes a doctor. So similarly, we are like those little children right now in Vaidhi Bhakti. But if we know what our final goal is, our prayojan is Raganuga Bhakti in Madhurya Rasa, is Raganuga Bhakti in Madhurya Rasa, then at least we have that information and we can constantly desire. And Krishna will make the arrangement that we will meet such Vaishnavas who are well versed with Raganuga Bhakti, either through their books or in person. Now that only happens when there is a deep desire, because this is not cheap. Raganuga Bhakti means in Vaikuntha, Vaidhi Bhakti is Vaikuntha. And if we are at Vaikuntha mood, and if we get that purity, then we come to that conclusion that he is our master and Lord, Vaikuntha Adipati, or Vaikuntha Adipatis like Narayana, etc., Lord Ramachandra. So we consider them as the Bhakta Vatsala. But once one enters into Raganuga Bhakti, then Krishna is not Bhakta Vatsal, he is Bhakta Vashya. He is controlled by his devotees. So it's not so easy. Krishna doesn't give Raganuga Bhakti to everyone. Krishna doesn't give this Vraj Bhakti to everyone. He will give, like he offered Vaikuntha. Up to Vaikuntha he offered Satyavrat Muni. Although Krishna knew that he is a Bhakta of Vraja, which he has stated right away in the first, but he wanted to test him, how eager he is. So similarly, right now we may hear some topics here and there about Raganuga Bhakti. It kind of, creates a spark within our hearts. But that spark has to be constant, turn into a slight fire and continue to burn, continue to have that utkanta. Then Krishna, he's testing us, all of us, he's giving us the opportunity. But if those who are satisfied, like Gop Kumar, he was not satisfied. He went to the different regions of the creation. But somehow or the other he was not satisfied. But finally when he reached Golok Vrindavan, that's when he was satisfied. And Krishna was also waiting for him in open arms. So, like that, our goal should be the highest, nothing less. Like a chatak bird. Rupa Goswami gives the example of how many of you heard about a chatak bird? You heard? Yes. Please tell us the qualities of a chatak bird, Prabhuji.
Is it he who only drinks water from the moon, from the rain?
The rain, not only the rain, but only in nakshatra. When the particular nakshatra comes, Swati nakshatra. The Swati nakshatra. It prefers to die, but will never drink the water from the pond or the rivers, or even the different, even regular rainwater. Swati nakshatra. So, our Gaudiya Vaishnavas are like that we are not going to settle for anything less. No. Varam Deva Moksham, I don't need that. Sorry, wrong number. Navdhim, wrong number. Vaikuntha. Nacha Anya. I'm repeating this for the third time so that we can take this home again and again. What does Anya mean, Prabhu? You have heard this before. Not a test, but do you remember? In that Damodarashtakam, Varam Deva Moksham na Moksham Avdhim va Nacha Anya. Do you remember?
Yes, not apart from Krishna, nobody else.
Not that. You can say so, that Anya means not even the bhakti of Dhruva and Prahlad. Because if I get the bhakti of Dhruva and Prahlad, I will end up in Vaikuntha, which I have already rejected. So Krishna, in that conversation, loses. Like when we have a conversation, a debate, one person has to lose. So here Krishna loses because it is a samvad, Suksma Samvad, a subtle conversation between Satyavrat Muni and Lord Krishna, this whole Damodarashtakam. So, then Krishna loses, and okay, tell me what you want then. I have offered you moksha, like that of the Brahma Jyoti. You have rejected that. I am offering, so many people are standing in line. Pantastu koti satvatsara sampragamyo vayarathapi manaso muni pungavana. So many yogis are sitting in the yog dharana, drilling their respiration, pranayam, alom, vilom. They are doing that for thousands of years. But they are not even able to attain the light that emanates from the toenails of Krishna, which is Brahma Jyoti. Rarely they attain Brahma Jyoti also, such devotees. So, I will put you in front of the line. There are so many yogis waiting. Just like when we go to some big temples like Tirupati, and if we are VIP, we get to take darshan from the front. And there is a long 2, 3, 4, 5 mile queue. We are put in the front. So Satyavrat Muni is put in the front by Krishna. I am pleased. You described so many wonderful things about me in the first 3 verses of Damodarashtakam. I am pleased. Mango, kya chahiye? And he is chup. He is upset. Bhakta has the right to be upset at Krishna. That is Raganuga Bhakta. So the quality of Satyavrat Muni is not ordinary. So he does this, okay, fine. You want mukti, and Krishna is very tricky, naughty. I'll give you mukti, I'll bring you in front of the line. He's further upset. Okay, I understand. You are not one of those Brahmavadis or Mayavadis. You are a Vaishnava, so I'll take you to Vaikuntha. He's upset still. He's like, Varam Deva. Like we say, na, Prabhu, wake up. We say, Prabhu. Somebody is upset, we say, Prabhu, Mataji, bas. Abhi zyada nahi sunna hai. I don't want to hear anymore. So, and before you say anything else, you offer me any other bhakti besides Vraj Bhakti. Dhruv and Prahlad, if you are offering me, that is also a no. Then Krishna says, Arre Baba, main haar gaya. Batao kya chahiye? What do you want? So then he says, I am lost. I don't know what to offer you. So then, of course he knows, but he wants to hear it from the Bhakta. Idam te vapurnatham gopala balam. Of all the wonderful sweet pastimes that I saw in Vraj of yours, especially in the Bal Gopal, may that always manifest in my heart. So that is why, so where were we prior to giving this example? Because I always kind of go from one...
Types of Krishna Prem.
Types of Krishna Prem. So we are like Chatak birds. We are like Chatak birds, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. If we want to be, if we are satisfied with Bhagavad Gita and all our lives, we want that, then we will chant 16 good rounds, think of some wonderful Bhagavad Gita sloks when we leave our body, then we are not going to Golok. Definitely not going to Golok. We will end up somewhere in Dwarka or Mathura, where we will have cognizance, or we will have the realization that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But those who forget Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when they enter Yoga Maya, both the Mayas do the same job, forgetfulness. Mahamaya makes us forget that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why Prabhupada had to again and again remind us, try to understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Vaidhi Bhaktas. But as soon as we qualify into Raganuga Bhakti, then from Mahamaya will be given into the hands of Yoga Maya. And Yoga Maya will also make us forget that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is just our simple lover. He is our Sakha. He is our darling child, as an example. Right? So, Yoga Maya has got a very important role, especially in Madhuri Rasa, because she is the director. Vrindadevi, Yoga Maya and Paurnamasi, they are the same source, meaning the same all, but just expansions to help and assist in directing Krishna's, Radharani's, and to enhance their pastimes. So there are our different type of prema, as I was saying, sneha, that of the parents, parental love, snigdha prem, that of the sakhas. And then in the Madhuri Ras, the different, we are talking about ban. When we mention Paramananda's song of Khandita Pada, कौन के बुराए भोर आए हो भवन मेरे, ऊंची दृष्टि क्यों ना करो. Now it is almost morning. The sunlight is slowly showing on the horizon. That's bhor, right? So now you are coming. And what has happened to you? Why aren't you looking us in the eye, chastising? That is the power of the gopis, Bhakta Vashya. So either Lalita Vishwa or Srimati Radharani is saying this, that kaun te lajane ho? What have you done that? Why you are looking at the ground? Why aren't you looking at me in the eye? What is it that you have done? क्या लज्जाजनक काम किया है कि तुम हम आंख से आंख नहीं देख रहे हो? You are not looking at us eye to eye, or looking at me eye to eye. You are looking down at the floor. So, जाहि को भवन भावे ताहि को सितारो काना. Whosoever home you came from, you go back there. Get out. You are not needed here. So strict. Krishna, sometimes they hear Vishakha is the most, has got the most spicy tongue. तीखी जो जीभ कहते हैं ना हिंदी में. And she sometimes gives so harsh words like gari, meaning abusive language. And Krishna loves that. When that is used more than the Brahmanas who are well versed with the Vedas and the Purusha Sukta and all those wonderful Brahmanical prayers, that are there, Krishna doesn't relish those as much as that the abusive language that the gopis and Radharani uses, that gives him so much joy and pleasure. That is Raganuga Bhakti, Ragatmika Bhakti. Of course, we cannot do that. We are Vaidhi Bhaktas. Actually, Prabhupada said when we are worshipping Radha Krishna, right now in our stage, we are worshipping Lakshmi Narayan. He has said that with awe and reverence, with that bow. Everything has to be perfect. We have to take a bath, then offer bhoga. If we go on the altar, we should not even eat anything. If we are doing abhishek, we should fast, not even drink water. As an example, many pujaris follow that very strictly. When you are offering bhoga to the Lord, we cannot wear contaminated clothes. That, okay, they are clean, but there's a difference between clean and contaminated. Big difference. Clean can be that this just came out of the washing machine or from washing and it looks very nice and clean, no mud, no spots. But the moment we have eaten food in this clothes, that it becomes contaminated. The moment we take these clothes and we sit on the bed, when we go to our rooms, then they immediately become contaminated. Then we cannot go to the altar. If we do that, then it's between us and Krishna. Hari sthane aparade tare hari naam, toma sthane aparade nahi paritran. Narottam Das Thakur says that. So we have to be very careful. That is why we have to have the Brahminical qualities. All Vaishnavas should have that. We actually learned that from our grandmother, although we were in the Pushti Marg. Everything that when we came to ISKCON, nothing was a surprise to us. As a matter of fact, when we, as an example, even when we were little kids, and when we went to the grandmother's home, and when sometimes we had to go for the call of nature, right, passing stool. So we had special towel left in the bathroom in one corner. So you take your good clothes out, change into that towel, go to the bathroom, pass stool, come back, take a shower, and that gamcha that you wore in the potty, right? You have to rinse it very nicely and again put it back in the corner so that the next person who goes, and if there is a lady, they have their special sari that they have to go, wear that and go to the latrine. So all these rules and regulations we have to follow so that nothing gets contaminated. Everything is in the purest form. At least to the best of our ability, we should do that. Some we see that they come from the temple and it is okay in ISKCON we do it. Pujaris, they sometimes offer full dandavats on the floor. And sometimes pujaris, when they finish make their offering, they put the offering and after the Gayatri Mantra, they come outside the altar and they sometimes mix with the public. They touch, sometimes they even pick up a child. Now the child is wearing diapers. So all these things, they are completely contaminated and then they go back on the altar. So that is not permitted. Proper training should be given. That no, as a matter of fact, in Pushti Marg, what my grandmother followed, and all the Pushti Margis who are in Seva, you're not allowed to touch them. In our childhood, we used to make fun of her. Can I touch you? Can I touch you? All the cousins of us, we would harass her. And once in a while, we even touched her. And the poor lady had to go take a full bath again in the middle of her Seva. So we did that. We were very naughty. And we did that. And sometimes she would cry. Why? That is already 2 times I have taken a bath. So then they would tell our respective mothers, please take them and take them away. While I am doing Seva, they should not come in my room. So this is the purity, that is needed. But once we cross, although she was in Raganuga Bhakti, she never gave up her Vaidhi Bhakti, what she had learned from her predecessors. And that habit will always go. There's only one case of Raganuga Bhakti we can say in Ramayana, where Shabri offers the half-eaten berry to Lord Ramachandra, wherein even Lakshman was very upset. How dare you offer this to some half-eaten to Vaikuntha Adhipati? You know who she is? Who he is? He is Vaikuntha Adhipati, Sri Ram. And Lord Ramachandra understood that. No. Calm down, Lakshman. And he very with nice attitude, greedily he accepted. Lord Ramachandra accepted the love of Shabri in the form of half-eaten berries because she wanted to taste. I want to give the sweetest of the sweetest berries to Lord Rama. So it is okay when we enter Raganuga Bhakti, Like for example, in Vaidhi Bhakti, we are not allowed to taste the bhoga. But in Raganuga Bhakti, some advanced devotees, they taste it. Not for sense gratification, to make sure that today I don't know if I remembered I put salt or not. So then they taste it just a little bit. It's okay. But not for sense gratification. But we cannot do it right now. What we do is, if we think that is that, then we put a small katori of some salt in the Krishna's plate. So in case if it is less, then he can add it. But what happens if it is more? He cannot delete it, right? Cannot deduct it. So this is the difference between Raganuga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti. And our goal is to get there. So Sri Radhika Madhavi or Apara. And the different stages of bhakti, as I mentioned. So in the Madhurya Rasa, there is man, which Srimati Radharani expresses when she is upset. And man is a reason that Krishna arranges to go here and there simply to increase her man. And that man will increase the union. Every time they meet, it is more and more sweeter. So there is a reason behind it. So even those gopis who are in the Vipaksha, gopis in Vrindavan, Yogamaya makes them forget. But there is a very higher purpose, to increase the longing or the separation of Srimati Radharani. So they play the role as if like they want Krishna to themselves. That selfishness is shown. But that is Yogamaya's kripa, to increase the feeling of separation for Srimati Radharani. In Srimati Radharani for Krishna. There is man, there is pranaya. After man, there is a stage called pranaya, where it is more condensed. Raga, so much attachment for Krishna that they dictate to Krishna what to do, what not to do. Anurag is even further condensed form of deep attachment. Then there is bhav, not the bhav of that we had mentioned of after Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti bhav, not that bhav. This is in Mahabhav, in the Madhuri Ras bhav, and bhav further condenses into Mahabhav. Mahabhav. And Mahabhav, all the Swapaksha gopis have, including the Manjaris have it. The feeling. In Mahabhav, there is actually enjoyment of Krishna. The other gopis also, they have their respective romance with Krishna. Manjaris don't have that, but Manjaris feel that. So they also feel, although they don't actually physically have any relationship with Krishna, but they feel that ecstasy, although they don't actually physically have it. So therefore they are also in Mahabhav. Understood? Is it clear so far? And after Mahabhav, there is Rudha, which is even more condensed, Adhirudha, which is even further condensed. And then that is the highest that all gopis can, Swapaksha gopis and Manjaris can reach in consciousness and feeling. But then Srimati Radharani gets two extra in Madhurya Rasa components, which is Modanakya and Modanakya Bhav. In Modanakya Bhav, Radharani becomes completely crazy. Like if we study the Brahmar Geet, when she is talking to the bumblebee, there are 10 types of symptoms. Did you study that? What are they? Do you recollect? Yeah, Prajalpa, Vijalpa, Ajalpa, even I forget the rest. There's 10 of those symptoms. And the essence of the symptoms is that if we see some mad person, how that mad person is shaking the hands, talking alone, talking to some objects, talking to trees. So Srimati Radharani is talking to the trees in Vrindavan. Have you seen my Krishna? Talking to the bumblebee. That, you look like the servant of Krishna. He is also black, you are also black. From heart also, and even in your heart, you are also black. You have come to cheat me by giving me a message from the cheater. You think I'm going to believe him? She's talking to herself and the bee is listening. That is known as Modanakya. And Modanakya is like when you become completely crazy out of separation. It is something that cannot be described. Only the Manjaris can describe it because they feel what Radharani feels. And therefore Rupa Goswami has described this in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, and even Srila Prabhupada. Sorry? Ujjwal Ninamadi also. Yeah, Ujjwal Ninamadi. And Srila Prabhupada has described in his purports the different meanings of the 10 types of prajalpas in the Uddhav, in the Brahmar Gita. So try to read those. They're very interesting. How amazing Radharani reacts. She says that, see, look, I'm looking at your whiskers. They have gone to different flowers with the different color flowers with the different pollen. Some flowers are yellowish, so they have yellow pollen. Some flowers are kesari or saffron in color, so they have the kesar pollen. And the bees have to suck the honey. So they are known as Madhusudan, extract. So when they are in the process of putting the proboscis into the flower, into the main part of the flower, which is called what? The corona? I think that's what it is. Corona. In the corona, where there is the pollen is there, right in the center. And that's where they put in their injection like proboscis and they extract the honey. But in the process, because they're brushing their whiskers with the pollen, the different colored pollen stick to the mustache. So Radharani in her Prajalpa, she's saying that even your master Madhusudan is like that. He's going from one gopi to another gopi. And I see the symptoms when he comes to meet me. So this is transcendental. We should not kind of equate it to the mundane. But like in a mundane example, sometimes if the husband is having an affair with somebody, then the wife catches him because she catches the perfume of the person that he was with. Through that, this is not the perfume I use. Where did this lady's perfume come on you? On your shirt or whatever. Or the chinhas of romance. How did they come on you? That means you are having an affair. So like this, she is even chastising the bee. You and your master are not different. He is also going here and there to different flowers. You are also going to different flowers. You're not sticking to one flower. So therefore Krishna's name is Madhusudan also. Madhusudan is also bumblebee and Madhusudan is Krishna. That is why he is also known as Madhusudan. So these are the different stages of prema. And Srimati Radharani's, why I am mentioning this is because Sri Radhika Madhavar, so Radha's prem for Krishna is so extensive and unfathomable. That is the reason why Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to taste that sweetness, to taste that craziness of Srimati Radharani and to glorify Srimati Radharani. Now, Krishna, let us say for example, just a few, one example that comes to mind among so many is there is this verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 32, Na parayaham. Anybody knows that verse? Na parayaham nirvadya samyujam swa. Yes, swa sadhu krityam. Very nice, Prabhuji. Yes. Very nice, Prabhuji. So the essence of that verse is that Krishna tells Radharani when he sees her and the gopis that I cannot repay you. I'm not able to repay my debt to you for your spotless seva, for your spotless love and what you have rendered to me. This verse, ye atha mam prapadyante tamsa tathaiva bhajamyam, fails when it comes to the Vrajvasis, especially in the Madhurya Rasa. Not possible. Krishna cannot repay them. Krishna himself is saying this. Actually, Brahmaji is mentioning, right? It is Lord Brahma who is speaking this, I think. Krishna is speaking, but Lord Brahma is repeating. I think so. I could be wrong, but the essence is Krishna is speaking this verse. And this verse was also, Mahaprabhu remembers this verse and this particular incidents. Not Madhyandapuri. Madhyandapuri is different, where he is talking about the mixing camphor into the sandalwood and crushing it, and the Madhurya Rasa started from manifesting from clearly from Madhyandapuri. So, but there is this Leela. When Krishna left Vrindavan, went to Mathura, then he went to Dwarka, and then many years he was in Dwarka. So one time there was this solar eclipse, Surya Grahan, and it is considered very auspicious to take a bath in a pond or a lake, but especially more auspicious when one takes a bath in Kurukshetra. There is a special kund known as Ram Riddha. So when they all gathered and assembled from different parts of Bharatvarsh, they came to take a bath there. The Pandavas, Dwarkavasis, Dwarkadish, the queens of Dwarka, all the Rishigan, etc. They all came in huge amounts along with their ministers and all to take a bath in Kurukshetra. And all different parts of Bharat they came. And also from Vraj, the Vrajvasis came to take a bath. And in Vrajvasis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, the Sakhas came, the Sakhis came, and Srimati Radharani also came. Please try to take this example within your hearts, and then we will get a little glimpse who our Acharyas are, because this whole Guruvashtakam is about the qualities of our Acharyas. So, do you know this pastime, Prabhu? About Kurukshetra? No, okay. So, in this pastime, the Vrajvasis come, and at that time, on the banks of the Kunda, here is Srimati Radharani standing along with her associates, and on one side of the Kunda is Krishna standing. Okay? And they are so close, very, very close, but yet so far, very far. In spite of them being so close, and in spite of them meeting after so many years, Radharani sees Krishna and the gopis see Krishna, Nanda Baba, Yashoda Mai see Krishna. Their tears of ecstasy are flowing. They cannot even talk. This is exactly what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is feeling when he says, Nanam Galadashru Dharaya, Vadanam Gadgada Rudaya Gira. I cannot even properly pronounce the name of Krishna. Gadgada, stammering. So like that, the speech is incoherent. That is also one of the parts of the Prajalpas, the 10, incoherent speech. You cannot understand what that person is saying out of ecstasy. Clear words are not coming out of the mouth. So, when especially Krishna saw Srimati Radharani and the gopis, he felt very guilty, extremely guilty, and he felt so sorry. The first thing he did is he fell at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, and this verse is being mentioned. Now, paraya aham nirvadya samyujam swa sadhu krityam. That I cannot repay you, Radharani, for all your love. I have failed there. Please forgive me. He asked for, and he says, even in a lifetime of Brahma, I cannot. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have left your family members, your husbands, your children, and Pati Sutanvaya, Bhrata Bandhava in Gopi Geet, right? Same thing in this verse, Krishna is telling them. You have worshipped me, cutting all domestic ties at the fear of not being accepted back into your families. You have taken that big risk, which are very difficult to break. And that is the reason we have to make note, what is the difference between the gopis of Vrindavan and the gopis or the queens of Dwarka. Of course, that example is there of Naradji, where he goes to Vrindavan, tries to get the dust of the Lord. That is one example. But here, the amazing thing that to make note in our hearts is, Krishna married 16,108 times. He had that many queens. And from each queen, he had 10 boys and 1 girl. So 11. Now can you imagine, although he could expand himself 16,108 times, but the queens, when they have their own kids, like in the beginning when there's only husband and wife alone, then there is more attention. The moment children, one after another, they are born, then it is but natural that the children need attention and the time is divided. So similarly, the queens of Dwarkas, their time was divided and the love for Krishna got divided into 11 parts. So he was the 12th part in terms of the love. But in Vraj, although they had children, they had other respective husbands, their love for Krishna was undivided. So that is why the prema of Vraj is unparalleled. And that is the reason, let's make another note, that Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when speaking with Rai Ramananda, he asked, what is the highest goal of life? So please substantiate Madhya Leela chapter 8 with your references from Shastra. You have to speak from the different slokas supporting whatever you say in answering my question, but what is the highest goal of life? So Rai Ramanand is none other than Vishakha Sakhi, right? She knows everything, even more than Krishna, because she knows Radharani. But to even him, he had to say that because that's an example for us Vaidhi Bhaktas. So we should not lapeto. We should speak as it is. That is our quality. Because even though we are not qualified to sit on the Vyasasana, but as long as we speak as it is from Srila Prabhupada's purports, from his teachings, then somehow or the other we get qualified, at least for that time period. Otherwise, that way, nobody will be able to give katha. If you really see, every day so many classes are going on everywhere, in all ISKCON temples. But as long as the devotee who is speaking, speaks as it is, doesn't speculate, either references, and that is why this place is known as Vyaspit. Vyas means to expound. One word, one verse, explain nicely, based on Shruti and Smriti, as it is, that we have learned without contaminating it with our own brains. Now, buddhaya natikaya, without our own logic, we should not. So that gives us the qualification to sit on the Vyasasana. Otherwise, it's impossible to have Bhagavatam classes in every temple. Maybe we can find, very, very few devotees who are highly qualified to speak, but then the rest of the days it will be empty. But as long as we stick to this, whenever we read Srimad Bhagavatam purports, we have to thank Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, it is not me who is speaking. It is you. And that is why we have to offer him thanks. That is what Mangalacharan is all about. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shala. It is not me. We should never take credit. The moment we start credit, we will start degrading. Then real ahankar will seep in. And then we will take, even though we may have good memory, we may know, sometimes people with good memories, one friend of mine in the Niagara Falls area, he passed away recently. He used to say, you see Satchitanand, that person there sitting there, he is a sloka loka. That means he just simply rattles slokas without proper way of explaining or understanding. Shloka loka. So if you have a good memory, you can memorize all the verses. But if there is no ounce of realization or no credit given to our acharyas, then one becomes shloka loka, a jnani. Loka means a planet, right? So he's a shloka loka. And that's what he used to say. I remember him for saying that. So we don't want to become shloka lokas. We may know minimum shlokas, but we have to become sargrahi Vaishnavas. To understand the essence of what our acharyas are trying to give us. That's the most important thing. So, na parayaham nirvidya samyujam swasadhukritam. I cannot repay you. Therefore, what is your compensation? Let your own glories be your compensation. Meaning, your prema for me is glorious. And that itself is the compensation. I cannot personally give you. मुझ में सामर्थ्य नहीं है आपको कुछ देने के लिए. I have no capability of repaying you. So Krishna tells that to Srimati Radharani at the banks of Ramridha Kund in Kurukshetra. And Srimati Radharani is taking her feet back when he tries to touch Radharani's feet. That, no. What are you doing? You are our Swami. Ashlishya padartam pinashtumam odarshanam karo hatam karo tu. As you do as you please, you are the Swami. But here Radharani is being sarcastic. Sometimes there are double meanings of it seems very humble, but she is in the Bhamya Bhav, very controlling. So she speaks in sarcasm. No, you are the Swami, you can do as you please. We are the ones who are guilty. We don't love you that much as you are thinking we love you. No. If I loved you that much, I wouldn't be alive. I would have given up my body a long time ago. But in another place, in the commentaries of the Acharyas, they say that the gopis said that yes, we are almost dead. But if we die, then we will give you the most pain. Therefore, somehow or the other, we are maintaining. What is that? The first verse of Gopi Geet. Jayati te adhikam janmanavraja shrayata indira shashvadatrahi daita drishyatam dikshutavakas tvai drita savas tam vichinvate. The last three words. So, our life air is almost gone. Oh Krishna. But we maintain it. The explanation is given. The extraction is done by our acharyas. The churning. That somehow or the other, if we give up our bodies, we love you so much that if you hear that we are gone or dead, then you won't be able to take that pain. So therefore, somehow or the other, we are maintaining our bodies. See, have you heard any such prem kahani in the material world? So many romantic stories and novels are being written. This is the highest novel. So at that time, Radharani is telling the Sakhis, it is the same me and it is the same him, but it is not the same place and they're not the same conducive. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes from mundane literature, Sahitya Darpan, like a romance between a boy and a girl on the bank rivers of Vetasi. And then Rupa Goswami understands that. And he uses that example of a mundane literature and then turns it into that verse. And he actually even cancels it and puts it in the thatch of the roof somewhere there. But when Mahaprabhu finds it, he said, yes, you have understood me properly. When I gave that example, nobody could really understand Mahaprabhu when he was giving the example of a material boy and a material girl, mundane boy and girl, their love affair. So that in their love affair, the boy is telling a girl and the girl is telling the boy, yeah, we are the same, but the place is not the same. Same thing is applying. So Vetasi, there was a river called Vetasi where they used to meet, in seclusion, and their loving affairs were more amazingly condensed in nature, very free. Here there is the Pandavas, here there is Mother Yashoda, here there is Mother Rohini, here all the great elders are present. So although we are there, but we are not there. We are very far. But I remember the banks of the Jamuna, the breeze of Vrindavan flowing in the trees, the Kadam trees, all those, that was the most conducive for our Madhurya Rasa. So close but yet so far. And at that time, her agony and separation increases to the highest extent. And therefore, I'm reminded of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj's words. His Holiness Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was a senior god brother of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was very fond of him. And Prabhupada also said that when I'm gone, you can take guidance from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. But Sridhar Maharaj was a very amazing scholar, Bhakti Vedantist also himself. And Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada really loved him because of his realizations. And when Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada left his body, he asked him to, we dropped the connection here. Oh no, it's there. Okay. Your connection is there?
Yes.
Okay. So, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was mentioning, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, when he was just about to leave his body, 1st of January 1937, in Bhag Bazar Gaudiya Math. He was just ready to leave. So he said, one Kirtanya was doing some amazing melodious Kirtan, but he stopped him. Can you call Sridhar Maharaj? So he said, Sridhar Maharaj, when he came in, yes, Prabhupada. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, right? So he said, can you sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pad for me? So Sridhar Maharaj reminisces, he is remembering that I cannot even sing. I croak like a frog. But Prabhupada asked me, he gave me the order to sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pad. As soon as he sang that, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada left his body. He just said Hare Krishna when the bhajan was over and he left his body. So that Sridhar Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj once was hearing Harikatha from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada mentioned that my father, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, desired to build a hut in Kurukshetra. So he said, I don't know if I heard my Guru Maharaj correctly. I am a very Tikshna listener. I am a very sharp listener. But I'm not sure if I heard this correctly this time. Because most of us, we think that the highest place to build a bhajan kutir would be Vrindavan, and within Vraj, Radhakund, right? And or Navadvip, Mayapur, etc. But here my Guru Maharaj is saying that my father, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's desire is to build a hut in Kurukshetra and do bhajan there. Like I see the surprise expression on all of them. And I was also shocked when I first heard that, because the first thing that comes to mind is all great Vaishnava Acharyas would like to build a bhajan kutir. Of course, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has the bhajan kutir. Even now, we find on the banks of Radhakund. Anybody taken darshan there? When you all have got Swanand Sukhad Kunj, right? And then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to stay there. Some of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciples also stayed there. And that is where, during the last meeting with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was staying there, but he was strolling, taking darshan of Radhakund, when our A.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, Abhay Charanaravindra Das was with him, giving him special instructions, one-on-one, that when you get money, print books. After I leave, there will be a great fire in the Gaudiya Math. Everybody will be fighting for my position. Everyone will be fighting which is the best room. Everyone will be fighting for the marble. They will be fighting. And that's exactly what happens. So, my Guru Maharaj, Nitya Leela Pravesh, Bhakti Charu Maharaj would always say that in his seminars and others, that whenever a great Acharya passes away, there's always going to be big turmoil. So that happened, and he even gives the example of Jesus Christ, who is a Shakti-Aves avatar. There were so many problems even in that era. And after Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada left, Gaudiya Math went into so many problems. And after even our Srila Prabhupada left, ISKCON for a certain period of time was in big turmoil. Many Prabhupada disciples left. They didn't know what to do. Many of them wanted to take Prabhupada's position. Some of them had that ambition to become Acharya. And in fact, they committed many offenses, and they also fell down. Especially out of the 12 that Prabhupada had selected as the zonal Acharyas, most of them, they fell down. Again, it's not my business to comment on them, but we find that through the different writings that we find and the things that we hear from different sincere Prabhupada disciples, certainly some offenses knowingly or unknowingly were committed by them. But we have to be very cautious. Although they have fallen down, my personal opinion is, because somehow or the other they had served Srila Prabhupada very sincerely, whatever time period they were, Prabhupada will save them. Prabhupada will certainly save them. So we have no business of making any condescending remarks for them. But the lesson is that we should not, that is why the number one rule in Namaprad is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life to propagating the holy names, right? Or preaching. So that is why we have to be extremely careful. Even amongst us, we find that some of us are equals, contemporaries, some of us can be junior than us. But very careful. Really, we should be in vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha. Why? Because we don't know who can become a pure devotee shortly, right? We don't know. The process, if Jagai and Madhai can become pure devotees, if a dacoit like Valmiki, Ratnakar, can become a pure devotee and can compose the entire Ramayana, which was manifest within his heart even before Ramayana happened. It is not that he compiled Ramayana after Ramayana happened. On the banks of the Tamasa river, the entire Ramayana he received in the heart even before Ramayana actually happened. So this can happen to any one of us. So the safest position is not to respect all. That is why amanena, mandena, kirtanya, sadahari should be the best policy for all of us. That way we are playing it very safe. So that's how Krishna is apologizing. And at that time Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that my Radharani feels so much separation, the burning of separation of its highest degree, that here he is and I cannot even touch him. I cannot even embrace him. I cannot even speak sweet words. He cannot speak sweet words of romance to me because of the situation where we are. And that time she really feels like leaving her body in that fever of separation. So at that time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur as Kamla Manjari is thinking that my Radharani needs the most assistance. I want to hug her and put her to my chest so that it will cool off her separation. That will be my attempt. Just like in our normal experience in this world, if somebody very dear dies in the family, say the husband passes away, and the wife is crying and out of control. So some of her best friends or her sisters are very close. They put her to her chest. Matro, don't cry. And they try to pacify. If she is alone, she won't be pacified, right? She will go even more crazy. most of the time people come out of this tragedy is because of the persons who are around them. And especially we come out of this tragedy of the material world and the suffering is because of the Vaishnavas. Right? It is because of them. Otherwise, we don't know what the goal of life is. In our lives, we are just behind money and all that, and that we consider as the highest happiness. But if that is the case, then why would some of the most richest people in the world commit suicide? Have you heard of one Hollywood actor, Robin Williams? He was a comedian, very, very popular in Hollywood. And he used to make everybody laugh. Really wonderful comedian. But he died all alone in a very morose way. He hung himself from his belt in his closet. On one of the hooks in the closet, he took his waist belt and put a noose around him and he hung himself in his own closet. So somebody was making the whole world laugh. He himself died. So we know that all these things in the material world don't really work. Only the Vaishnavas can come to our rescue. So similarly, Kamala Manjari wants to come to the rescue of Srimati Radha. A friend in need is a friend indeed. At that time, she needs the most help. She needs the most extinguishing her forest fire or davanal. She needs the most. And that is where I want to do my bhajan. So that, because when our acharyas do bhajan, they are doing bhajan and contemplating on the leelas of Radha Krishna in their state, even when they are present in their body. That's what they do. That is called Smaran Dasha. I explained that earlier this morning when we described the different dashas. Varan Dasha, right? Smaran Dasha. So that is the Siddhi in Prayojan when we reach that stage. So it doesn't mean that the moment we get that, like we get what we call in our modern education, we get the certificate or the convocation degree, a PhD or masters or bachelors, then we are done. Done. Finished. Right? We have achieved that degree. But it is not like that case in that of, even when they get that samadhi stage or that prayojan, it is not that they immediately transported to Golok Vrindavan. They are still here. They are still here and they are practicing their bhajan in Smaran Dasha. So in Smaran Dasha, that is what they think of the different, the lalsa, that this is what I desire, that when Radharani is at Kurukshetra, when she needs the most help, I would like to build a hut there and I would be sitting here in Kurukshetra and contemplating how I can pacify her, how I can mitigate her pain of separation. So this is the highest. That is why we are, Radha Dasyam is the highest. Most of us, even in ISKCON, don't know that. Our goal is, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, first Srimati Radharani, then Krishna. If Radharani is happy, we are pleased with Krishna. If Krishna upsets Radharani, we are upset with Krishna. And I like to give this example that sometimes when husband and wife are quarreling and the wife goes back home to her mother and to her sisters, she says, "Dekho na, isne aisa kiya, aaj to had kar di. Today he has crossed the limit. This is what he did." So then immediately they will all say, you don't need to go back to him. Let him learn his lesson. If he is behaved like a rascal, let him deserve it. But then one day, that same wife will say, today my husband is so kind and so nice, so romantic. Today I didn't have to do anything in the house. The moment I woke up, breakfast was ready for me. And he even cooked and he even spoke some wonderful sweet words. Then the mother, when she hears from the daughter, she will tell everyone. She will tell her sister and the family, my Jamai is the best in the whole world. So for us, Krishna is the best until he gives pleasure to Srimati Radharani. The moment he gives her pain, then he is like, pariah, out. We don't need you. You have hurt our Pran Sakhi. Look how much she is crying. So this is the bhav of the Madhurya Rasa, where there is separation, union, separation, union, separation, union. Like Srimati Radharani is so much, her love is so great for Krishna that even Krishna Jaydev Goswami had written this. Smarala garala kadana mama sirashi mandanam dehi pada pallava udaram dehi pada pallava udaram Jaya Jaya Deva Hari. Jayadeva Goswami, one time he was sitting and composing Geet Govind. Geet Govind is a very, it has got some Vaidhi Bhakti songs like the Dasa Avatar Stotra, where it describes the different avatars. But there are, most of the songs in Geet Govinda are of Madhuri Rasa and of romance. Very deep romance that Jayadeva Goswami has described. Perhaps he is also Manjari, but we don't know who he is because that is in the 11th century, 11th or 12th century. Jayadeva Goswami appeared. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very fond of hearing Jayadeva Goswami songs, Chandidas and Vidyapati. And these two great personalities, Rai Ramanand and Sarup Damodar Goswami, used to sing them in the Gambhira. Radharani told them that, oh, he's crazy, he wants to get my bhav, but he's going to go really crazy. He will hurt himself. He will be rolling in the ground. Thorns will hurt him. Little stones will hurt him. Pebbles will hurt him. He will bleed. So he said, you really want to go? Krishna says, yes, I want to attain your bhav. Okay, fine. So be it. Be careful what you are asking for. So then Radharani says, he's crazy. He wants to get my bhav. So he directs Lalita and Vishakha, go with him and appear as Lalita, appear as Swarup Damodar Goswami, and Vishakha appears as Rai Ramananda. And you know best what I feel. You have seen everything. So you train him because he is bent on getting that bhav. So and then I will personally come as Gadadhar Pandit to observe whether he is doing nicely or not. Whether he is doing nicely or not, I will observe. Because he wanted it so bad. So Radharani says, okay, fine. Not only that, I will wrap myself around you because Radharani is Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. So I am going to wrap myself around like a shield. So when you fall, and the Gambhira, when Mahaprabhu used to chant the Mahamantra, he used to go into such deep separation and ecstasy that he used to rub his cheek against the rough walls of the Gambhira and blood used to ooze out. So Radharani would protect as the shield. That is why Krishna is Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam. He is Akrishnam, he is blackish. But because of Radharani wrapping herself around him as a shield so that my lover should not get hurt, I will take all the hurt and the pain that will come on me. Where can we find such a romantic story? Can we? Never ever. Na bhuto na bhavishyati. That is the only place in Vraj, and the only place is Madhuri Ras, and the only place is the Swapaksha Gopis of Radharani, and the only and only place exclusively is Srimati Radharani. So here Jayadeva Goswami composed this. While he was composing, he was thinking, he says that, oh Radharani, please place your lotus feet on my head. Krishna is saying that. So then he thought that this is wrong. Suddenly he comes into that mood of Vaidhi Bhakti. How is that possible? He is the Supreme Personality Godhead. That perhaps Yogamaya makes him think like that for a moment. So after writing that verse, he scratches it out. And then he goes for a bath. He tells Padmavati, his wife, that I'm going for a bath. I'll be back soon. Hopefully you would have offered bhoga and I'll take prasad then. While he goes for the bath, the Shyam Sundar Krishna comes in his own vase, in the exactly the same form of Jayadeva Goswami. He sits down on the same place, and where the words are cancelled, he writes it in golden words. Same words he repeats. Dehi pada pallavam udaram. Please place your lotus feet on my head. Oh Srimati Radharani, I'm so sorry. I really beg your forgiveness. Let me get your lotus feet. I beg your forgiveness. Let me purify myself so that I don't do any nonsense again. Let me get that feeling how you feel and how much pain I'm giving you. Instead of catching ears, he is saying, put your lotus feet on my head. Dehi pada pallavam. So that is Srimati Radharani. That is Madhurya Rasa. Therefore, please be kind and allow your full lotus feet to decorate my head. So that is Sri Radha, unlimited in bliss for Krishna. So according to now the next word, Sri Radhika Madhavi Urapar. Madhav means, according to Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the original Shankaracharya, in his commentary on Vishnu Sahasranam, he has mentioned that Madhav means, Dhava means the husband or the consort, and Ma means Mahalakshmi. So the consort of Mahalakshmi is Vishnu or Narayana, right? So that is one of the names of, but Madhava in Vraj So this morning we explained the Pramukh Naam and the Guna Naam and Pramukh Naam, right? What is Guna Naam? Example? You were there, right?
Bhagavan.
Yeah, Bhagwan, Paramatma, Varam Deva, Varishad, Ishvara, Prabhu. So these are all names of the Lord, but they are Gauniya Naam. But Pramukh Naam is Hey Radha, Vrindavan, Bihari, Hey Madan Mohan, Hey Gopinath, Hey Nandanandan, Hey Yashodanandan, Hey Ras Bihari, Iti Adi. Or the entire Jai Radha Madhav is Pramukh Naams. In Gitavali, Bhakti Vinod Thakur ji has composed this song. Only the names of the Lord. So, like that, in this particular, Madhav means, in Vraj means, Ma means no. Like Maya means not. Right? Ya means this. So, Ma kasvasid dhanam in Isopanishad. Right? Do not take the wealth of others. Ma. So, Ma Dhava. So, Radharani is always saying, don't run away from me. Dhava means Dhavyati. Stay a little bit longer, Krishna. Don't run away. The gopis are saying, don't run away, Krishna. Stay. So, one of the meanings, the Rasik meanings of the word Madhav is, don't run away, oh Krishna. We just met just now. Although it has been hours, but they say, only now we met. Stay a little longer. Madhava, don't go away. Don't run away. So, Apara. Apar means unlimited. Different pastimes. So, what is the Acharya doing? The Acharya in Vaidhi Bhakti and in teaching the different disciples and Vaishnavashtakam. Does anybody remember? Sanatana Goswami has given a commentary on that, and I had mentioned it in my second session, if I am not mistaken. Satyavrat Muni has already given up Vaikuntha in verse number 4, right? Number 5, he is also envisioning the kissing of the gopis or Mother Yashoda in Vraj, kissing Krishna, right? And then what happens? According to Sanatana Goswami, that vision disappears, that Sfurti disappears. Because now he has to be further tested. He is actually endeavoring very hard to get into Madhurya Rasa. That greed has arisen in him. So then he does a Sankirtan. And Sankirtan is the only way to attract Krishna. And even the gopis did Sankirtan as Gopi Geet, and then Krishna appeared again. Sankirtan is the one most sublime way of attracting Krishna.
Like this, they want to use equipment for life for Maharaj.
Okay.
This asked me to call.
Okay, so I can wind up. Yeah, no problem.
Because they have considered timing according to.
No problem. So, what was the last saying? What was my last words? Sankirtan. So, Sankirtan at all levels is most important. Even the gopis did Sankirtan, even Krishna did Sankirtan. In the Gambhira, when he chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, continuously for 12 years. So, Nama Chintamani, it gives us whatever desire we have. So, what was the desire of Nandanandan? To obtain Radha Bhav. So, he took shelter of the holy names. So, at all levels, the shelter of the holy names must be taken. And we find that through the examples of that. So, Satyavrat Muni is crying, Namo Deva Damodar, Ananta Vishnu. Ananta, unlimited Vishnu. And this Vishnu means the all-pervading, Sarvavyapi Krishna, who is simultaneously present everywhere in Vraj, on the banks of Radhakund, at Vamshivat, in Vrindavan, in the different 12 forests he is present, in the different caves of Govardhan, at Radhakund, Shyamkund, simultaneously is present. Depending on the bhav of the devotees, to satisfy them, he is present here, he is present there, everywhere. And therefore, Sanatana Goswami, or Satyavrat Muni rather, addresses him as Vishnu, which the literal meaning is that of Vaikuntha, he has already given up. And that is why when we pray in the Padma Puran, in the morning we say Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade. So that prayer is a very old prayer that all Vaishnavas pray. But for us, our consciousness should be that Vishnu or that Krishna in Vraj who is simultaneously Sarvavyapi everywhere in Vraj. That we will ask Vrinda Devi to give us the bhakti of the Sarvavyapi Krishna in Vrindavan or in Vraj. So I will end here now, and then I will describe tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. in the Bhagavatam class, the other wonderful meanings of what is Madhurya Leela, what is Guna Rupa Nam Nam, and Prati Shana Swadhanalolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. Something very, very unique that I had heard, I had read, that I would like to share, and perhaps our love and affection for our Acharyas will even grow further. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Ganga is flowing like waterfall.
All glories to Prabhupadas, all the Prabhupadas. They are actually showering, and I am just trying to catch some of it and give it, share it.
Thank you.
All glories to Guru and Gauranga. You have any question?
I just want to express today I understood why Maharaj Raghunath Swami keeps saying that help should be or seva should be there where it is
Most needed.
So today I understood.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
So basically is there in the heart. The Paramatma is in the heart. The Krishna is in the heart. In that conversation.
हो गया पूरा कि बीच में से